Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, I'm Matt.
And I'm Karen. Today we are looking at part 1 of Tuvalu is making itself digital. So we're talking about this place called Tuvalu.
Now here we have the name of the country, Tuvalu. Now you might hear people say Tuvalu or Tuvalu because both of these pronunciations are acceptable.
Do you know where Tuvalu is, Matt?
Yeah, I have an idea. I know it's in the South Pacific.
Okay.
And it's about halfway between Hawaii and Australia.
Oh.
So somewhere in the middle in the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, so I kind of have an idea where it is, and I think I heard that it's one of the smallest countries in the world.
Yeah, I think one of the smallest by size in the world and the second smallest by population. So there's not a lot of people living there.
But I did see some pictures of Tuvalu, and I think it looks really, really pretty. But I don't know why not too many people visit Tuvalu.
Well, I think because it's so small and there's not that many people there, it's hard to get to and there's not much tourism industry. There's not many things to do there other than maybe sit on the beach, which some people really like.
And that would be me. And I actually Googled how much it probably would be if we were to travel from Taiwan to Tuvalu. I think it's only maybe around $500 to $1,300 US. So it's actually not that bad.
That sounds reasonable. Maybe I should start planning my trip.
That's right. I would love to pay a visit too.
All right, well, maybe we're going to find out more about how we can learn more about these beautiful Pacific islands when we come back after this.
All right.
In the South Pacific, a nation of 9 islands is in the fight of its life. Tuvalu is trying to survive climate change. However, the rising sea levels are making that almost impossible.
So we're looking at part 1 of Tuvalu is making itself digital.
Now, you might hear people say Tuvalu or Tuvalu because both of these pronunciations are acceptable.
But what does it mean when they say they're making themselves digital?
Okay, so digital is an adjective and it means related to electronics or in particular computerized electronics. So when we say that they are making themselves digital, they're moving themselves into the computerized world.
But I still don't quite understand that. How can you move the country and making it digital? I guess we'll have to read on and find out.
All right.
Okay, let's dive into our article today. In the South Pacific, a nation of 9 islands is in the fight of its life. Ah, a nation, that means a country. So this country has 9 islands and is in the fight of its life. That means it's fighting for its life. Tuvalu is trying to survive climate change. Oh, okay. So I guess because of climate change, maybe something bad is happening to the country.
Yes, I think they're in the fight of their life, so they need to, to struggle to do something.
That's right. I wonder what they're going to do. But first, we're going to look at this word island, and that is a noun. An island is a body of land that is surrounded by water, just like Taiwan is an island. And our example sentence would be, some islands are found in rivers, lakes, and ponds, but most islands are in oceans.
Okay, and this island nation is fighting in the fight of its life. So the fight is a struggle to overcome or to defeat something or someone. So when you're in the fight of your life, it means that it's the most important struggle that you have ever had to come up against. And you need to win this fight or this struggle.
That's right, and they're trying to survive the climate change. To survive, and that is a verb. It just means to remain alive, like to stay alive, continue to exist. So for example, he survived the car accident. So he didn't die from the car accident. He stayed alive.
All right, well, continuing with the article. However, the rising sea levels are making that almost impossible.
The rising of sea levels. Because of climate change, we know that the earth, the temperature is rising, is going up. And that is why the ice is melting and the sea levels, that's rising, right?
Right, as the Arctic and Antarctic ice melts, more water goes into the sea and the sea level rise. And for some countries that are very low already, that is going to be a very big problem. And for Tuvalu, they said that's almost impossible.
What does it mean by impossible?
Impossible means something that cannot happen or cannot be done. So when you can't do something, it's impossible. When you can't make something happen, it's impossible. So I could say, the fog made it impossible to see which way to go.
That is true. So we know that this country, Tuvalu, is in trouble because of the rising of the sea level. So that means maybe the country won't be able to stay alive, won't continue to exist, right?
Right. Well, that's maybe why, they need to think of a solution to this problem. And they're going to try to find a way that they can survive, even if it seems almost impossible. Because if it's almost impossible, it means there's still a chance it's possible.
That is right. Always stay hopeful. How about let's take a quick break and we'll come back and learn how they're going to cope with the difficult change.
By the end of the century, Tuvalu may be underwater. The country's government and 12,000 people are aware of that. So they are taking steps to protect their future. Tuvalu is turning to the metaverse. With its Digital Nation project, it plans to become the first digital country in the world.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about Tuvalu, this country made up of 9 islands that's in the fight of its life as it tries to survive this big problem. And it's going to be nearly or almost impossible for them to survive because of rising sea levels.
That's right, but I do not think that they're going to give up, right? They're going to fight for their lives. So let's continue. By the end of the century, Tuvalu may be underwater. That's going to be a very big problem. The country's government and 12,000 people are aware of that. Because like we mentioned before, the rising sea level, and if it is an island, right? Tuvalu is an island. So when the sea level rises, and maybe we will not be able to see the country anymore.
That's right. So the government and these 12,000 people are all aware of this problem. So aware is an adjective and it means to know or to have knowledge about something. So when you're aware of something, it means that you know about it. So all the people in Tuvalu know that they have this problem and it's something that they're going to need to find a way to overcome. So for example, I could say, I didn't bring my umbrella because I was not aware that it was going to rain.
That means you did not know that it was going to rain.
Didn't know.
Okay.
Let's continue. So they are taking steps to protect their future.
That's what I thought. I didn't think that they would just give up that easily. I mean, in the end, it's their home. And it is a beautiful country. Now they're taking steps. So take steps, that means begin a course of action. So for example, the town is taking steps to provide better street lights. So maybe this town, they do not have a lot of street lights, or maybe they don't have enough street lights, but they are taking steps. Maybe they're fixing some of the street lights, maybe they're going to buy some street lights, but they're going to do a series of actions to make sure that happens.
Okay, well that's great thing to do, and it's great that Tuvalu is taking steps to do something about this problem.
That is right. Tuvalu is turning to the metaverse. With its digital nation project, it plans to become the first digital country in the world. They're turning to a metaverse. What does it mean by that?
Okay, so a metaverse is a network of places that exist within computers. So it's a place that doesn't really exist. It's not really there, but you can go there and you can do things there by using a computer and even by sometimes using a VR mask to go to these places. And you can do things like chat with friends, play games, go shopping in these worlds that are only in the computers.
It's really hard to picture and imagine that. I mean, when I go and visit a country, usually I go there physically, but if I were just to go there, it's kind of like playing a video game.
It's kind of like that, but it's where other people can join you together in these worlds. So it's not, when you play a video game, often you're just by yourself. I guess now you can actually play with other people online. So yeah, I guess in those worlds, it's a bit like a metaverse for some video games.
Wow, it's actually really, really interesting, but it's still a little bit hard for me to understand this whole new idea or concept, right?
Right, well, fortunately for you, we're going to come back next time and talk more about how Tuvalu is going to make itself a digital country.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
In the South Pacific, a nation of 9 islands is in the fight of its life. Tuvalu is trying to survive climate change. However, the rising sea levels are making that almost impossible. By the end of the century, Tuvalu may be underwater. The country's government and 12,000 people are aware of that. So, they are taking steps to protect their future. Tuvalu is turning to the metaverse. With its Digital Nation project, it plans to become the first digital country in the world.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 island 名词岛屿。Doris lives on a tropical island. Doris 住在一个热带岛屿上。Tropical 指的是热带的。下一个单字 fight 名词战斗对抗。Kevin died last week after a long fight with cancer. 在与癌症进行了长期的搏斗后 ，Kevin 在上周去世了。Cancer 指的是癌症。下一个单字 survive 动词幸存熬过。Some older people couldn't survive the harsh winter. 有些长辈无法熬过严寒的冬季。Harsh 指的是严酷的。最后一个单字 impossible 形容词不可能的。It seems impossible to finish all the work in just one day. 一天之内完成所有工作似乎是不可能的。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 by the end of 加名词到什么的末。End 在这里是名词，指的是最后部分末尾。这里横用单数。我们来看看这个例句。I plan to finish the project by the end of the month. 我计划在这个月底前完成这个专案。下一个文法 take steps 采取措施，它的后面可以接不定词 to 加 v， 表示采取措施做某事。 Step 在这里指一连串行动之一，常用复数。我们来看看这个例句。The government is taking steps to improve air quality in the city. 政府正在采取措施改善城市空气品质。最后一个文法 A turns to B，A 向 B 寻求解决方案，帮助。B 之后可以接 for 来带出请求帮助的内容。我们来看看这个例句。Peter always turns to his dad for advice. Peter 总向他的爸爸寻求建议。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，回去记得复习哦。我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Here's how to play. The host will be holding 3 cards. Each card will have 2 sentences containing a secret vocabulary word or phrase that has been replaced by the word bear. The host will read the sentences out loud for the contestants to guess. Whoever guesses first gets a point. The person with the most points wins. And you can play along too.
Hi everyone, I'm Steven.
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Matt.
We're gonna play Guess the Bear. So let's get started. All right, this one is a noun. One word. Number 1, Mia woke up with a bear and a fever. Number 2, the flashing lights gave Dawn a bear.
Headache?
Okay, point 1 from Matt. Let me review that first. Okay, so number 1, Mia woke up with a headache and a fever. Number 2, the flashing lights gave Dawn a headache. Good job, Matt. All right, this is an adjective. You guys ready?
Yep.
Number 1, the bear mob demanded the beast to come out. Number 2, hearing that his sister ate his cake made John very bear.
Angry?
Good job, Carolyn. Okay, so number 1, it was the angry mob demanded the beast to come out. And number 2, hearing that his sister ate his cake made John very angry. All right, so now we have 1 point for each of you. This is the tiebreaker. Are you guys ready? It's pretty difficult. I think this one's pretty hard. It's a phrase, 2 words.
Okay.
Number 1, after their big fight, Bill and Ted are bear friends bear. Number 2, having hurt her hand, Jane does bear play the piano bear.
Not anymore.
Whoa! All right, Carolyn, good job. All right, let me review that. Number 1, after their big fight, Bill and Ted are not friends anymore. And number 2, having hurt her hand, Jane does not play the piano anymore. Wow, good job.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. I really think that was really hard. I don't think I would have gotten that one, so good job.
Thank you.
You're smart.